The market on Station Aurealis was loud and bright, filled with strange smells and glowing signs. Traders shouted in dozens of alien languages, trying to sell old parts, crystals, and broken tech from forgotten worlds. Eli Hahn walked through the crowd with a small scanner in hand, looking for something worth fixing. He was used to junk. Half his life was spent repairing things others had thrown away. But that day, something caught his eye. In a dusty corner, an old alien merchant had a pile of rusted metal boxes. Most looked like junk, but one of them, a small, corroded safe about the size of a backpack, had strange patterns carved into its surface. The metal shimmered faintly under the market lights, like it was hiding a pulse deep inside. Eli stopped. "How much for that?" he asked. The merchant, a green-scaled Threxian, laughed. "That? You want that?" His voice was full of mockery. "It's worthless human scrap. It came from a derelict ship 200 years old. Even the scanners can't open it." Eli crouched to look closer. The edges of the safe were rounded, and its lock didn't match any modern design. There were faint human characters near the base, ancient ones. He brushed away dust and felt a small vibration under his fingertips, like the box was alive. "I'll take it," he said. The aliens nearby burst into laughter. "Of course the human wants a broken thing," one shouted. "They always buy junk and call it history." Eli didn't respond. He just smiled slightly and paid a few credits. It wasn't much, barely enough for a cheap meal, but the safe felt heavier than it looked, like it held something important. He carried it back to his small workshop near the cargo docks. His robot assistant, a small spherical droid named Kip, rolled toward him. "You bought another piece of trash?" It beeped. "Maybe," Eli said, "or maybe it's not trash." He set the safe on his workbench and ran a scan. The screen blinked, showing dense alloys and a strange power signature. "This metal isn't listed in any catalog," he muttered. Kip tilted its lens. "That means it's dangerous." "Or valuable," Eli replied. He grabbed his tools and began cleaning off the corrosion. As the dirt came away, the patterns on the surface started to glow faintly blue. That made him stop. "Okay, that's new." He connected a power line to the safe, but instead of sparking, it absorbed the current smoothly. The screen flickered with strange text. Kip hovered closer. Language unidentified. Eli frowned. "No, wait. I recognize that." He enlarged the letters and realized they were old Earth symbols, centuries old, from before humanity joined the galactic community. It spelled one word: access. He touched the word on the display, and the metal under his hand warmed slightly. The lights in his workshop dimmed. Kip beeped nervously. "Eli, what did you do?" The safe gave a soft hum, and a circular slot opened on its surface. Eli stepped back, startled. Inside, faint light pulsed like a heartbeat. He peered closer, trying to see what was inside. There was a crystalline disk. Eli stared at the glowing disk inside the safe. The blue light shimmered, shifting like ripples on water. It looked alive somehow, reacting to his touch. Kip hovered beside him, blinking nervously. "Whatever that is," the droid said, "it's not standard tech." Eli leaned closer. "No, it's older. Maybe human, maybe not." He gently pulled the disk out. It was surprisingly warm. The moment he lifted it, the light grew brighter, and strange symbols appeared on his workbench screen. Kip scanned them. Language database checked unknown. Closest match: Old Earth Archive, pre-expansion era. Eli frowned. Pre-expansion? That's impossible. That's more than 400 years ago. The symbols rearranged themselves, forming a sequence of numbers. Eli typed them into his computer just to see what would happen. The instant he hit enter, the workshop lights flickered and the air filled with a low hum. The disk projected a hologram, a star map. Hundreds of dots lit up the walls, forming constellations and lines that stretched far beyond known galactic sectors. Some points blinked red, others gold. At the center of the map floated a symbol shaped like a spiral. Unfamiliar, yet strangely human. Kip beeped rapidly. "This is not good, Eli. You might have just activated an ancient distress beacon." But Eli wasn't listening. His eyes widened. "No, it's not a beacon. It's coordinates." The hologram zoomed in on one sector. It wasn't on any of the common charts. A small cluster of planets orbited a dead star, deep in the uncharted zones. Kip processed the data. That region is restricted. Old Patrol records call it the Silent Belt. Ships that go there don't come back. Eli smiled faintly. Then maybe no one ever tried the right path. Before he could study the projection further, the door to his workshop opened. 2 alien traders stood there, the same ones who had laughed at him in the market. "We heard you bought something strange, human," one of them said. "We'll buy it back for 10 times what you paid." Eli quickly closed the projection. "Not for sale." They stepped closer. "Be careful what you hide. That safe didn't come from junk. It came from a collector's ship that vanished near the council borders. People died for it." Eli's hand tightened on the disc. "And now it's mine." The aliens exchanged glances, then left without another word. Kip floated closer. "Eli, this is getting dangerous." "Maybe they're right." He shook his head. "No, they don't understand. This tech, it's human. And no one's seen anything like this for centuries." Kip's lens dimmed. "Then what do you plan to do?" Eli placed the disc back in safe. The patterns on the metal shifted again, as if reacting to his decision. The hum returned, this time quieter, almost approving. "I'm going to find out what it's trying to show me," he said. "I need to unlock the rest of it." He ran another scan, tracing the data flow. The disk was only part of the system. The safe itself seemed alive, its surface adapting every time he touched it. He tried entering his identification code, but the machine rejected it when he typed a random sequence, his old Earth birth date. The safe responded. Kip froze. How did it know that? Eli felt a chill run down his spine. It didn't know. It recognized. The safe opened further, revealing a second layer inside. More lights flickered on, forming a new message. This time, it was in plain, Old English. Legacy code accepted. Human line confirmed. Eli's hands trembled. Legacy code, human line? The safe pulsed brighter, and another hologram appeared. This time it wasn't a map. It was an image of an old ship drifting through space. The name on its hull was faint, but he could read it. ESS Horizon. He searched his memory. The Horizon, that's from the first wave of colonization. The ship disappeared over 400 years ago. The projection zoomed in on the ship's logo, a spiral identical to the one from the first star map. Then the hologram faded, leaving behind a single line of text. Treasury access key, status, dormant. Eli stepped back, stunned. Treasury, as in the Galactic Treasury? Kip rotated. That's only a legend. The Founder's treasure world? You humans made that story up. Eli smiled slightly. Maybe we didn't. He leaned over the console, his fingers shaking as he entered new coordinates. The system responded instantly. The star map returned, highlighting one single point far beyond the edge of explored space. Kip hovered lower. That's a long way. Even if we make it, who knows what's there? Eli turned to the droid, a spark in his eyes. That's why we're going. The safe clicked shut, locking itself. The humming stopped completely. For the first time in years, Eli felt alive. Not as a scavenger, not as a man fixing other people's trash, but as someone standing on the edge of a discovery that could rewrite history. He looked out the window at the endless stars. Somewhere out there, a forgotten ship and a hidden treasury waited. And for the first time, the galaxy might remember what humans were truly capable of. The next morning, Eli packed everything he could fit into his small cargo ship, the Wayfinder. The corroded safe sat secure beside the pilot seat, its blue light faint but constant. Kip floated over his shoulder, scanning the flight systems. Fuel level, low. Shields, weak. Engines, unreliable. In summary, the droid said dryly, "We are not ready for an adventure." Eli smirked. "We'll make it work. We always do." He entered the coordinates from the hologram, an uncharted system far beyond known space, deep in the Silent Belt. The ship's computer gave a warning. "Caution! Destination outside map routes." "Yeah," Eli said quietly. "That's the point." As the Wayfinder lifted off the docks, Eli glanced back at the planet below. He could still hear the alien merchants laughing from the day before. But he wasn't angry. He knew what they didn't. Sometimes the smallest piece of junk could change everything. Hours passed as they left the trade lanes. The stars grew fewer, the space around them darker. The hum of the ship was the only sound. Kip hovered silently, projecting the star map from the safe onto the control screen. According to this, the droid said, "We have 3 jumps left before we reach the coordinates." But, Eli, there's something strange. This path, it's weaving through systems no one's ever recorded. It's almost like a trail. Eli leaned back in his seat. Maybe it's supposed to be followed. Halfway through the second jump, the scanners picked up something. 3 small ships trailing behind them. Kip beeped an alarm. "We have company." Transponders unreadable. Eli cursed under his breath. Those traitors must have followed us. The ships closed in fast. A voice crackled through the comms. "Human vessel Wayfinder. Power down and surrender the artifact. You have something that doesn't belong to you." Eli muted the channel. "They'll shoot if we stop." "Correction," Kip said. "They'll shoot anyway." The old ship shook as the first plasma bolt grazed its side. Alarm screamed. Eli pushed the throttle, but the engines groaned in protest. "Come on, old girl, don't quit on me now," he shouted, slamming the control panel. Kip scanned the map again. "There's a gravity rift ahead, unstable, but it could mask our signal." Eli smiled. "Perfect." He aimed the ship toward the rift, a swirling cloud of blue dust and static energy. The pursuing ship slowed, their pilots wary of entering. Eli didn't hesitate. The Wayfinder plunged into the rift, lights flickering as the hull strained under pressure. Everything turned silent. Then, one by one, the lights came back. They were alone. Kip exhaled through its vents. "You are either the luckiest or the most foolish human I've ever met." "Maybe both," Eli said, grinning. They coasted through the rift, following the faint signal from the safe. As they cleared the distortion, the stars reappeared, but different this time. The constellations didn't match any known chart. They had crossed into forgotten space. Kip's tone softened. "Eli, no one's been here for centuries. That's what makes it exciting." They followed the trail for another day. Along the way, the safe began reacting again. Its blue light pulsed stronger, almost like a heartbeat. Symbols flickered across its surface, forming shapes that Eli slowly began to understand. "It's giving us instructions," he said. "It's unlocking itself." Kip hovered closer. "Or it's leading us into a trap." "Maybe," Eli admitted. "But if it's a trap, someone built a long time ago, and they built it for humans." Suddenly, a warning tone filled the cockpit. Kip projected a new scan. "We've got another ship behind us. One big and fast." Eli frowned. "Let's see who wants to join the party." The comms buzzed. A calm, deep voice came through. "Unregistered human vessel. This is Captain Lore of the Vec Consortium. You have something of great value. Hand over the safe, and you may leave unharmed." Eli kept his voice steady. "Sorry, Captain. This belongs to me now." "You don't understand," the alien replied. "That object is not a toy. It's a key, the kind that can open worlds or destroy them. Humans were never meant to hold it." Eli's jaw tightened. "Maybe that's why it's responding to me." There was silence. Then the alien's voice returned, colder this time. "Then you will die with it." Before the alien ship could close in, Eli triggered a jump sequence. The Wayfinder surged forward, vanishing into light just as the enemy fired. When they came out of warp, the view took Eli's breath away. Ahead of them floated a broken star system, a ring of shattered planets orbiting a dim sun. In the center hung a massive structure, metallic and ancient, glowing faintly gold. Kip whispered, That's not a planet." Eli stared in awe. "It's the vault." The safe began to hum louder, vibrating on its mount. Lines of light spread across its surface, forming the same spiral symbol he had seen in the hologram. Kip beeped uncertainly. "Eli, this is beyond anything in the records. If we approach that thing, there's no turning back." He smiled faintly. "Then let's not turn back." The ship moved closer to the glowing ring. As they crossed its threshold, the safe emitted a final chime, and the console filled with ancient text. Eli recognized a few words. Human access authorized. Final test commencing. The lights dimmed, and the ring ahead opened like an enormous door. Eli leaned forward, his heart racing. Looks like it was waiting for us. Kip turned its lens toward him. For you, specifically. And as they entered the vault, the stars behind them vanished, leaving only silence and the golden light of the unknown. The Wayfinder drifted slowly into the golden light, swallowed by the enormous doorway. The moment the ship crossed the threshold, everything changed. The stars outside vanished, and the view filled with shining walls of metal and light that stretched endlessly. It wasn't space anymore. It was a place built by hands long gone. Eli stared at the controls. Are we inside something? Kip's sensors whirred. We are inside a megastructure. It's older than anything in the database. Material composition, unknown. Energy readings, impossible. The ship floated forward without input, guided by invisible forces. Blue rings of light appeared ahead, forming a narrow path. I think it wants us to follow, Eli said quietly. They passed through chamber after chamber, each larger than the last. Some looked like halls with floating crystals. Others were filled with holographic projections of strange, extinct species. The deeper they went, the stronger the hum from the corroded safe became. It vibrated so hard that Kip had to hold it in place with a magnetic field. Finally, they entered a grand chamber. In the center stood a massive sphere of glass and light, spinning slowly. Around it floated hundreds of smaller safes, identical to Eli's, but all dark and lifeless. Kip's voice lowered to a whisper. They were all keys, but only yours is active. Eli stepped closer. So why me? The safe began to glow brighter, and the huge sphere pulsed in response. A deep, calm voice echoed through the air, not through speakers, but inside their minds. Human presence detected. Identification required. Eli froze. I'm Eli Cross, just a scavenger from Soul. There was silence. Then the voice spoke again. Designation accepted. Human, the last of the origin species. Kip's sensors flickered wildly. Eli, it's saying humans built this place. Eli frowned. That can't be right. We've never been out here. The voice continued, steady and timeless. Your kind built the vault to protect creation. When the stars fell and the empires burned, the others forgot. But the seed remained, buried in your world, waiting to return. The words sank in slowly. Eli looked at the corroded safe. The junk he had bought for a handful of credits was actually a relic from humanity's forgotten age. A reminder that humans had once ruled among the stars. Kip floated closer. Eli, the vault is reacting to your DNA. It's unlocking something only you can control. The sphere began to split open, revealing a chamber inside filled with glowing symbols and rotating keys of light. Streams of data poured into the Wayfinder systems. Kip gasped, if a droid could gasp. Eli, it's transferring something. Blueprints, coordinates, history. All of it. Eli stepped forward, touching the edge of the sphere. The moment his hand met the surface, the vault reacted like it recognized him. A shockwave of golden light spread through the chamber, shaking the ship. Alarms rang out. Kip shouted, Power levels are spiking. The entire structure is waking up. The voice returned, louder now. Guardian protocol reactivated. The vault must not fall into enemy hands. Eli's eyes widened. What does that mean? Before Kip could answer, the sensors picked up incoming ships. Lots of them. The same alien fleet that had been following him had arrived. They burst through the portal behind the Wayfinder, weapons armed. Targets acquired. One alien voice crackled through comms. Destroy the human vessel. Bolts of plasma filled the chamber. The vault's golden walls reflected the fire like mirrors. Kip shouted, Shields failing. We can't take this. Eli clenched his teeth. We're not leaving. Not yet. He pressed his hand to the safe again, and new symbols appeared on the glass floor beneath him. A circular platform rose up, surrounding the ship in light. Kip analyzed it. Eli, it's activating the vault's defenses. Suddenly, beams of golden energy erupted from the walls, slicing to the alien ships like paper. The whole chamber turned into a storm of light. One by one, The attackers exploded in silence, their debris turning to dust before hitting the floor. When the last of them vanished, the vault fell quiet again. The great sphere glowed faintly, then dimmed, as if satisfied. Eli exhaled slowly, heart still pounding. I didn't mean to do that. Kip floated beside him, scanning the sphere. You didn't. The vault protected itself. You just gave permission. Eli looked at the endless safes floating around them, all silent, all dead. So many keys, but only one worked. Kip's lens turned toward him. Maybe it was waiting for someone who still believed in forgotten things. Someone who could see value in what others called junk. Eli chuckled softly. A junk dealer saving the galaxy. Sounds ridiculous. History often starts that way, Kip replied. The sphere pulsed once more, and a final message appeared in the air. The vault's knowledge is yours, but with it comes duty. The stars will soon remember their creators. Eli watched as a new set of coordinates appeared on the ship's console, farther out than any charted space. He whispered, "Looks like there's more out there." Kip nodded. "Then where to next, Captain?" Eli smiled faintly, eyes fixed on the glowing path ahead. "Let's see where our ancestors left their other treasures." As the Wayfinder turned toward the next destination, the golden vault closed behind them, sealing its secrets once more. But the echo of its light followed them into the stars, reminding the galaxy that humans, though forgotten, had never truly left. The galaxy had not been quiet since the vault opened. News spread fast, faster than any ship. Whispers traveled through trade routes and shadow markets about a human who had awakened an ancient power. Some called him a thief. Others called him the key. But for Eli Hahn, it didn't matter what the galaxy thought. He wasn't searching for fame. He was searching for truth. The Wayfinder glided through a calm sea of starlight. Kip floated beside Eli, scanning the last set of coordinates the vault had revealed. The data leads to the Helion Rift. The droid said, "That region is uncharted and unstable. No one who enters comes back." Eli leaned back in his chair. "Then we'll just make sure we come back." As they jumped through hyperspace, Eli thought about everything that had happened. The rusty safe, the vault, the attack. He still couldn't believe it. Somehow, humanity had once been the builders, the guardians. Now they were scattered, treated like lesser beings by more powerful civilizations. But maybe, just maybe, that could change. The ship exited hyperspace into a vast field of broken planets. Shards of worlds floated like glittering glass. In the center of it all, a single beam of light rose from the darkness, steady and bright. Kip scanned it. That signal is ancient. It's calling to us. They followed the beam until they reached a floating platform surrounded by ruins. It looked almost like a small outpost built long before any known species existed. As they landed, the platform lit up, glowing under Eli's boots. "This feels like the vault," Eli murmured. Kip hovered close. "Maybe it's a second one." At the platform center was a pedestal with a crystal sphere, smaller than the last and smooth like water. Eli reached out to touch it, but before his hand made contact, it activated on its own. A faint light formed above it, shaping into the image of a woman, human, but not like any from Earth. Her clothes shimmered like starlight, and her voice carried a calm power. "To the one who awakened the vault of the ancients," she said softly, "you have done what none of us could. You have remembered." Eli stood frozen. "Who are you?" "I am Heiress of Soul, the first keeper of the human archives. Long ago, our kind left this galaxy, leaving behind guardians to watch over what we built. We hoped one day someone would return, someone who still carried the heart of humanity." Eli's throat tightened. "And now you're saying that's me?" "Not just you. Every human still out there. You are proof that we endured, that our light never went out." The image smiled faintly, as if looking through him. The treasury was never gold or jewels. It was knowledge, memory, the spirit of creation. The galaxy forgot what it meant to build without conquering. It forgot the courage to explore without fear. You, Eli Hahn, reminded it. The crystal dimmed, and new data flowed into Kip's system. Blueprints, ancient technology, and star maps leading to lost human colonies scattered across the galaxy. Kip looked amazed. "Eli, this is everything. If we share this, Humanity will no longer be forgotten, will rise again. Eli didn't answer right away. He looked out at the stars, then back at the sphere. If we give this to the wrong people, they'll use it to fight, to control others. The vault didn't wake up to start another war. Kip turned its head. Then what will you do? Eli smiled faintly. I'll do what humans always do. We adapt. We learn. We build. But this time we build for everyone. He uploaded part of the archive into the Wayfinder's beacon, sending it out across the galaxy. The message was simple, recorded in his own voice. To whoever receives this, human or not, the stars belong to everyone. Knowledge is not treasure to be hoarded, but light to be shared. The signal spread, passing through old satellites, forgotten relay stations, and even alien networks that had once mocked his name. On distant worlds, screens flickered to life, showing the human face of Eli Hahn and his message of peace and unity. Weeks later, as Eli and Kip traveled the empty lanes of space, something strange began to happen. Ships hailed them, not to attack, but to offer thanks. A trader from the Zalari world sent food. A scholar from the Uran Empire sent data charts in exchange for stories. Even the once hostile markets of Laura, 9 hung banners saying, "Welcome, children of the vault." For the first time in centuries, humans were being treated not as scavengers, but as symbols of endurance. Kip hovered beside Eli as they watched a field of new ships leaving Earth's orbit, following the routes the vault had revealed. "You've changed everything," the droid said quietly. Eli shook his head. "Not me, just a rusty old safe and a bit of faith." Kip's tone carried warmth. "So what now?" Eli smiled as the stars reflected in his eyes. "Now we explore, like we used to." The Wayfinder turned slowly toward the unknown, engines humming softly. Behind them, the galaxy shone brighter than it ever had, united not by fear or conquest, but by a forgotten truth. Humans were never the strongest nor the fastest, but they were the ones who remembered. And sometimes, remembering was the most powerful thing in the universe. As the ship disappeared into the horizon of stars, a faint echo followed in its wake. An old phrase whispered by the vault's voice one last time. The legacy endures. Humanity rises. The Yendi, Part 5.